2021 meeting of the Parker Planning Commission to order at 7 p.m. Would you please stand and join us for the Pledge of Allegiance? John?
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right, thank you, everybody. Roll call. It appears as if all members are present. So the regular members will be seated tonight. Bryce, are there any additions to or deletions from the agenda?
No, sir, there are not.
Okay. Approval of minutes. Are there any corrections or additions or deletions to the minutes from our November 12th meeting?
None for
No,
me.
sir.
Hearing none. Do we have a motion?
I move we approve the November 12, 2020 minutes.
I'll second.
It's been moved by John, seconded by Eric, that we approve the November 12th, 2020 meeting minutes, and I'll call the question. Ileana,
Yay.
Rich,
Yes.
Eric,
Yes.
John,
Yes.
Ruth Ann,
Yes.
Kim.
Yes.
The chair is yes. All right. I want to thank any members of the public who are attending the Parker Planning Commission meeting. Before the meeting begins, I must emphasize, you wish to make a public comment on the item on this hearing, you must be joined in the Zoom webinar link posted on the town's website at www.parkeronline.org/planning commission. Facebook Live participants are only able to view and listen to the meeting. Now would be a good time for you to leave Facebook Live and join the Planning Commission meeting on Zoom if you wish to comment on the agenda item tonight by using the Zoom raise your hand feature. And we appreciate your attendance at the Planning Commission and your cooperation. All right, we have tonight scheduled item 6, a public meeting, which is ordinance number 3.324.2. And we will open the public meeting at 7:03. Bryce?
Thank you, Chair. Members of the Planning Commission. Tonight, I do not have a PowerPoint, so I'll just be reading through staff report items. Before you tonight is a proposed amendment to Chapter 13.09 of the Municipal Code, otherwise known as the Sign Code. Under the Municipal Code, election signs are treated the same as temporary signs. Temporary signs are required to be registered with the town. However, every October 1st through November 15th, the code allows for a reprieve of the requirement to register temporary signs. This aligns with the typical election cycle. This year, there's a special election for 2 council seats on April 20th, 2021. This code amendment will temporarily, for this year only, allow for a reprieve of the requirements to register temporary signs from March 20th to May 1st to align with the special election. The proposed amendment sunsets June 1st, 2021. Staff recommends the Planning Commission recommend Town Council approve the ordinance to amend Section 13.09.040 regarding registration of temporary signs. That completes my presentation. As always, I'm available for any questions.
Questions from the commissioners for Bryce?
I have none.
I do have one quick question, Bryce, and I think I may have asked this before. One of the concerns, especially where in the location of Parker that I'm in, the signs go up, whether it's the election, and obviously we had a national election in November, and then we had the local one as well. What is the requirement for the removal of those signs once the election. So there's a cutoff. You've stated the date. I mean, what consequences can there be, or are there any, to them just not being picked up, and then they become trash? And I'll tell you, after the winds last night, Canterbury and Hilltop looked like a dump truck fell on it. With the signs, there are still signs from, like Mike Wade running a couple of years ago that were probably hidden and buried, and all of a sudden they resurrected him. And I said, "Why, Mike Wade? I thought he was done." And I realized it was from a few years ago. But there are signs still there from the November election. Here we are in January, and so my question is, what are they required to take them down? Is there something that the public can do, that subdivisions can encourage, or HOAs can encourage people to do? That's my question, or that's my scenario.
All right, lots of layers in that question. So answering the first question from the November election, the temporary reprieve is from registration of signs. So any sign that exists after November 15th, so a temporary sign, either needs to come down or they need to come into our e-track-it system and register it. So if it's non-registered through our code enforcement, people can reach out to them and they can come by and tell them they have to take it down. If it's registered, it could continue to stay up for the 90 days allowed for those temporary signs. That would be the same thing with this special election. It would need to be taken down by May 1st. And then, or registered. There's one caveat to that. If the sign is less than 2 square feet, it's excluded from the sign code, 2 square foot on a residential lot. So those do not require registration. And we aren't allowed to read the content of the sign by federal law. And so we're kind of stuck in a balance there. But if they're greater than 2 square feet, they either need to be down or registered by certain dates. I do know that homeowners associations do have additional rules and often are more strict on that and will require either them to come down or other size limits, more restricted size limits as well.
And what is the enforcement mechanism on that for political signs? And who is it enforced upon? The candidate whose name appears on the sign? Because a lot of times there's no way to tell, especially when they're in the public, the unclaimed property area, the public byways and stuff. So how is that actually enforced? Who has to pay a fine or get a ticket or what have you?
So there shouldn't be any election signs on town public property. So we do have Anthony Mazzio and his team in community services. They go around and collect all the signs that are on public property and take them to the police station. If it's an issue on private property, it is the property owner that it's enforced upon. The property owner gets to choose which political signs are on their property, and then they're also the ones that are responsible to take them off in the end.
And what's the stick?
So the long-term stick, so initially it's outreach by our community services folks to explain to the owner that they need to remove it. Next step is a formal complaint. Next step is they can go to court, municipal court, and fines can be up to $499 per day.
So the city takes them to municipal court?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I will tell you, I'm unaware of a situation where it's gone that far. People usually just pull it when our community services folks stop by.
Yeah, that was my next question, is had it ever had to be enforced? Thank you.
All right,
Sure.
Further questions?
Thank you, Bryce.
No further questions? All right, then, as this is a public meeting, we want the public to be involved, and we will now open the discussion to the public for public comment on this matter that is before us tonight. And Rosemary, as far as I can see, there are no attendees.
I concur.
Okay, so we will close the public comment. Do we need any further information from Bryce?
No, sir.
No.
All right, we will close the public hearing at 7:10. Thus eliminating any chance of me breaking my record. Planning Commission, Commissioner discussion. I'll start, just use the roll. Ileana.
I'm in agreement of allowing them to have it, and certainly would encourage, the final disposition of them to be removed shortly after the April 20th. So I'm good.
Okay, Rich.
Yep, have no problem with the temporary assignment.
Eric.
I have nothing to add. I'm in support.
John.
I concur with my fellow commissioners.
Ruth Ann.
This makes sense to me. I concur.
Kim.
Seems pretty straightforward. I concur.
Yep. The chair sees this as a necessary item for the town to do, given the upcoming April election. So do we have a motion?
I move the Planning Commission recommend Town Council approve an ordinance to amend the Parker Municipal Code regarding suspending registration of temporary signs between March 20th and May 1st, 2021.
I'll second.
It's been moved by John, seconded by Rich, that Planning Commission recommend Town Council approve an ordinance to amend the Parker Municipal Code regarding suspending registration of temporary signs between March 20th and May 1st. And I will call the question. Ileana.
Yes.
Rich.
Aye.
Eric.
Aye.
John.
Aye.
Ruth Ann.
Aye.
Kim.
Aye.
Chair is aye. It passes unanimously. All right. Any items, Bryce? Any other items for the Planning Commission?
I do not have anything. Rosemary, do you?
Nope.
All
No
right.
additional items?
Then we will adjourn at 7:13. Not a record, but close.